Hello guys, Shadow Sabbath here, and today I'm doing another episode on Amphibia with Shadow Sabbath and episode reviews. Guys, I find this crazy. I thought October 2nd was never going to come, and now it's finally here. We finally have the episode. Not as early as I would like, but Disney made sure that they got it right when they wanted to, or at least Amphibia's crew did, and we're actually here, guys. I'm so excited to talk about this episode. Decent amount to unpack, guys. Really excited. And guys, let's just get into it. Everyone knows the scene. Anne of the Planters coming there and basically just seeing Anne's world. I almost said Amphibia for the first time since, the events of the last episode. So then they realize that obviously they're in traffic and quickly run out. And then we get this amazing scene, like seeing Anne's city. I just like it. I don't know if these are actually references, like just saying pop. It's just generic brand. I find that funny. But it's nice to see this background, and I hope they can do a few more like these throughout the episode. But then we basically have the scene we saw in the trailer. The sneak peek, and I'm not really going to go into that much. It's just really the scene. So you guys can go check out the video I did on that, or check out the actual sneak peek. So then also, like in the sneak peek, another sneak peek, we see Anne explain to her parents basically everything going on in Amphibia and such. And, you can also just check out that sneak peek for that. Really, all these are things we've already seen. But getting on to new footage, we see Anne's parents, who obviously don't like the idea of a bunch of frogs coming to their house and don't expect them to stay, but Anne begs them to stay here because the parents mentioned that they will just give them over to the government, and Anne obviously doesn't want them to go over to the police. She's afraid that they'll be dissected. So then basically it's Anne's responsibility now to take care of them, and the mom decides she's going to go to the store, and Anne decides that she wants the planters to come with them. Obviously, it doesn't sound like a good idea, but she promises to take care of all the planters there, which is funny because it's a switch from usually the planters taking care of Anne. And then after they talk about how Anne's really bad at responsibility, Hot Paw basically comes in and starts at first to help, explaining how Anne's done a lot in Amphibia and she used to be like that, and since he's practically one of her parents, he understands. And then we just see that he starts rambling off at how she burned down the city almost once, and then just starts not helping. Then we get to see Anne's bedroom, and basically back home, and all the planters getting to look around Anne's bedroom before we get a switch of scene. We get to look back at Amphibia, and we find King Andreas in the box, and I found this a bit early. I never expected them to show Andreas so early in the episode. It's actually pretty surprising. And then we have this frog, or Frobo-like robot, which turns out to be kind of like a mercenary. King Andreas sends him to go find Anne, kill her, and then bring back something that Marcy started having him get into. And a bit of funny dialogue, but mostly it's about now this frog is actually a mercenary going to hunt down Anne, which explains a lot from the sneak peeks and intros we've gotten. The planters get their disguises, and then they go to their grocery store, and, you can tell that they're all having to be careful. I'm not really going to explain much from here because you really should watch it yourself. It's pretty funny. But really, it's just the planters looking around the store and basically understanding Amphibia and the human world. I keep saying Amphibia because I'm so used to us being Amphibia, but understanding the human world now. And it's a really nice scene, but it doesn't have that big an impact on the story until it takes the planters to go and get ramen, which actually looks pretty delicious. And this robot, who's turning invisible to hide so he's not seen, comes and captures Anne for a short time before the planters start throwing ramen at him, which kind of causes him to, short circuit a bit. And it was pretty cool. The magnets actually are what stopped him from being invisible. I don't really know how that worked, but I guess it just did. The magnetic field or something. By the way, Anne and the planters, obviously trying to be secretive, go and start fighting with this robot, but both of them really don't want to be seen because one's a robot who's been given orders not to be seen, and the planters and Anne just don't want to be seen fighting a robot in public. So the parents are right there and actually don't notice him because of the music that's going on right now. So they run into an employee-only meat locker room, which explains the icy place that we saw in the sneak peek and trailer, which is really interesting because a lot of these places I thought would be spread out throughout episodes, and a lot of stuff from the trailer from this episode makes me wonder if they haven't done a lot of the episodes yet. So surprising no one because of how they're cold-blooded. The planters all freeze, and then the robot grabs Anne and throws her, and they all want Anne to turn into basically Blue Anne, which we saw before, which only Sprig doesn't know about. And Anne just says she can't. She can't just do it on command, which is interesting. As she gets angry soon, you start to see bit of power. And a lot of people have been saying it kind of reminds them of Midoriya from My Hero Academia. And I can agree. I mean, Anne having a bunch of power in one arm but can't go fully 100% into her blue form. It gets interesting. A lot of people were thinking Anne would be like super powered, myself included, with the new blue form. But I think it's just her partially using it and not fully going to her blue form. So of course Anne does this, and like in the trailer, runs over to this robot and absolutely demolishes it with a hit. Then they return to the parents who just think nothing went on, and she acts like she just went out to get some fish for the parents, and it looks like nothing's happened. And that pretty much wraps it up. We get a nice ending scene. This robot, I don't know exactly what's doing. It may be fixing itself. Who knows? Either way, it just starts shooting a laser at itself. It may be trying to fix itself, which is why we see the kind of junky robot in the future, because it's not actually dead yet. And then that's really it for the new normal. A very nice episode to ease us in. I'm surprised they didn't have a surprise twist at the end. And even in part of it, which I didn't mention before, Andrews does reference Marcy, telling her to just wait because he has a plan for her already. And she'll be useful very soon. Oh no, the episode's not over. We actually get a new credit. And I'm actually going to play that here. This is going to be one of the few things I actually play the whole thing. We get a new end credit scene. Now I saw that, definitely have a lot of anime vibes. I really like it, really crazy, really nice. I think it's a great new outro. I mean, it takes us away from a bit more of the seriousness. I mean, this episode, besides the robot and the quick shot to Candy Dress, was mostly good fun. I'm really excited to see what they do next week and in the future. But I hope you guys enjoy, and I'm so excited for the next episode. Have a nice day.